Hi, folks, and welcome back to the Star Wars Library, where Star Wars is in print, and we are finally finishing this trade here. It's been a long time coming, but we're finally at the end of the first volume or first set of comics from the Star Wars web strips. So this one's called the Frozen World of Ota? Ota? I don't know. Anyways, I'm going to call it Ota. So Frozen World of Ota from 1980. And it's a newspaper strip, once again, by Russ Manning and Rick Horberg. And it's actually Manning's last contribution to Star Wars. This came out between June and August of 1980. And so it's a few months after Empire that this story is taking place, and it's capitalizing on the success of Boba Fett, or of the popularity of him. So it's kind of a chasing story. Like, he goes here, or something. So Luke is damaging a TIE fighter. So it crashes on the planet Ota. And the pilot is basically going. These scavengers, Luke goes down too to try and get him. The scavengers of this planet kidnap him because their habitat is freezing, and they have this machine that essentially keeps the freezing from happening. So they're like, we need someone to fix this. So eventually, Luke and the pilot escape, and turns out, eventually, Boba Fett shows up and all this and that. So Fett kind of helps them escape. Leia and Han and Chewie show up, and they're looking for Luke. Then Han gets captured, so Luke and Fett have to turn back around and go help him. And Boba Fett wants to make money on Han, so this is probably after the bounty that is put on is put on Han's head. It's back on at this point in the chronology. Chewie gets injured and is helped by the Mole. He's the one that Boba Fett is after because he's a spy that Darth Vader wants taken out. So it's kind of an odd tale because Boba Fett is brought in. Luke doesn't really recognize him, since even though that they met in the holiday special. Really, I guess it's more said that Luke doesn't recognize the Mandalorian armor, or he recognizes the Mandalorian armor, but he doesn't think that they're the same person. He just kind of recognizes the armor, but doesn't think that it's the same person. So Russ Manning did not finish this last story. In fact, he unfortunately died of cancer, and so his assistant had to come in and finish it. So it's not only drawn by Manning and written by him. It's kind of a team effort. So then again, once that's done, Archie Goodwin will then come in as one of the people to write the strips. And so then it kind of becomes, Archie Goodwin starts to become really well known for the newspaper strips, more so than Russ Manning, I think. So to wrap all this up, is this an essential read? The question that we always ask here on the Star Wars Library, is this essential? No. It is a nice ending for Russ Manning. I think it's not a bad story. And, like I said, it's a good ending for Russ. But ultimately, there really is not much here. There really isn't too much, that you're going to see later on in the EU. You're not going to see too much of this brought up. And so it might be worth your time again. Now that we finish this whole trade might be worth your time if you're, again, looking to go back in time a little bit and kind of see some vintage Star Wars. But in terms of the overall expanded universe, this is not something that you must have. This is an optional thing. And I don't even know if this would be high on my list of optional. But again, that's me coming at it from the view of someone who's never read the expanded universe before. So that's just my opinion. You can take it or leave it. So anyways, folks, thank you so much for joining me, and we will see you next time with another episode of From the Star Wars Library.